Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. And today I want to talk about how to beat the artificial intelligence that is now hiring you depending on where you live. Now, this is actually interesting because I want to say about 6 to 9 months ago or so, I actually did a video on the very first individual in Scandinavia, and it's pretty much in the world, but it was coming from Scandinavia, that was hired by a company that used exclusively artificial intelligence to basically vet their candidates and hire that individual. And since then, interestingly enough, I have gotten a couple of requests here and there, and I've kept it in the back of my mind on basically, hey, Nick, you're a professional hacker. Can you beat the artificial intelligence to help me land a job? How do I vet this? And I just saw an article from Reuters that I thought was absolutely fascinating on this exact thing, and I would like to go through how to beat the artificial intelligence that may be hiring you. Now, this news is coming out of South Korea, and South Korea has fully embraced the entire artificial intelligence revolution in hiring. And so this is coming from Lee Soo-young. He is the director of the Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology Institute for Artificial Intelligence, and he has some tips for us that I think everybody will be basically very interested in, especially if you're looking for a job and you're coming up against artificial intelligence that is conducting your interview via video, which is now becoming very prevalent in many parts of the world, Scandinavia being one, South Korea being the other. Now, according to these tips, and there are 3 here, I would really take these to heart. Now, the first one is, don't force a smile with your lips, smile with your eyes. And I find that very interesting because I can look depressed and smile, or I can smile with my eyes, and you can see the difference, especially if you're watching me on video. Podcast people, I would recommend looking at this on YouTube, but that I think is very interesting. Now, the next tip that we're going to be talking about is the AI that hires is using gamification to basically gauge your personality and adaptability by putting you through a sequence of tests. Now, to quote, through gamification, employers can check 37 capabilities of an applicant and how well the person fits into a position. And so basically, preparing for these tests doesn't basically involve memorizing answers like, the default HR person that will ask you questions like, why do you deserve this job, etc. And so, to quote, some games don't even have a right answer. They are aimed to spot the problem-solving attitude of the applicant. In other words, what we are looking for here as they are putting you through gamification isn't necessarily that you can figure out the answer, because there may not be an answer. It's basically enumerating what your problem-solving skills are and having a positive attitude, at least visually, while you're doing it. Don't get discouraged because the AI is going to try to sense that. And that leads us to the third point here from this article from Reuters, and I quote, AI spots and counts facial expressions, including fear and joy, and analysis of word choices. It then asks questions that can be tough. For example, you are on a business trip with your boss and you spot him using the company credit card to buy himself a gift. What will you say? The recommendation here is that as you are going through this, to continue to keep a positive attitude. Don't force the smile with your lips, force it with your eyes. If your problem solving looks like it's upbeat, positive, and you are processing these things, you are going to beat the AI. So understand, your facial expressions, according to an artificial intelligence, are going to be key indicators, not to mention the fact that you are looking to basically be fooled by the AI. It's going to gamify you. It's going to be looking at your facial expressions, and if it sees fear as opposed to joy, it is going to give you basically a minus or a demerit or whatever the artificial intelligence is considering that. So keep upbeat. Make sure that you understand that some answers don't have a right or a wrong, that it is looking for you to think these things out, verbalize them while keeping a positive attitude. Check out my face on this kind of stuff. And that is going to go a long way to ensuring that the AI, even if you can't solve the problem, thinks you're doing it in a very positive manner. Fear is the mind killer, to quote a famous book. If you know the book, let me know. And that is the biggest thing. So keep a positive attitude, keep a positive face, and even if you think you're flummoxing or getting questions wrong, understand the artificial intelligence is attempting to trip you up. If you keep these things in mind, statistically, you have a much better chance of beating the artificial intelligence that is trying to hire you, or specifically not hire you in this case. So those are your 3 tips for beating AI, and please give me feedback on this if you disagree. This is coming from Reuters in South Korea that has had a lot more experience than much of the world minus Scandinavia on using artificial intelligence in its hiring practices. And so I hope these practical tips are actually giving you a little bit of relief in that sense, and hopefully you'll land that job. And best of luck to you if you're on the job hunt. And so that is your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, and please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.